an impressive win against Cardiff City, and spirits are riding really rather high here at Bristol City Football Club, but there's no resting on our laurels. Training and preparation must continue for our next match, even though it is 11 days away, against Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, there is once again disappointing news from the training ground. Thankfully, only a minor injury, but once again it is Pedro Pereira that's going to have to take a few days out to rest and recover. Notwithstanding that, looking back over the last few weeks, our stats are looking very good as a team. We're currently head the tables for results, goals conceded and tackling performance. But those numbers are based on individual player results, and the stats are here showing us that Tommy Rowe, Nicholas Eliasson and our keeper David Bentley are playing particularly well. It's also interesting to note here that Andreas Feyman has recorded the best dribbling performance in the Sky Bet Championship, having been out, however, for nearly a month now, and only having played in about 7 or half of our league matches so far. And as the days count down to our next match, yet another injury report from the training ground, and I'm starting to wonder if our schedule is too tough. Today is Jack Hunt, again only a minor injury, a tight hamstring, so he'll just need to rest for a couple of days. But he again is one of our key players and has been proving to be very useful in recent matches. So, I mean, looking at our training schedule, this is what we're currently running to. It is a double intensity schedule that I picked up on the recommendation of FM 2020 Fansite FM Scout, and it does appear to be working. The teams are performing well, and together with a double intensity sort of individual training setup, again recommended by FM Scout, it does appear to be getting us the results. And perhaps more importantly for me, it stopped the complaints from a number of players that I had been getting earlier in the season who thought the old schedule was a little bit too relaxed. And talking of Andreas Feyman, some good news from the medical centre. He is now back and ready to resume training. He's been out for about 3 weeks now in all. And I'm particularly excited about seeing Feyman back because, along with Nicholas Eliasson, he's been great. As a team, they've been sort of a double-edged attack. And he's great at pushing through the midfield to create some great goal chances. So I'm expecting really good results from him when we have him back on the pitch. But once again, tempering the good news with slightly less good news, we hear from the training ground once again. Actually, this isn't from the training ground, it's from a match that he was involved in. I put him in, again, just to keep up his match fitness. He was in a match with the under-23s, and he's going to be out again for a few days with a bruised ankle. That's Nathan Baker, if I hadn't mentioned his name so far. Again, he's a very key player and an influential player at the club, or a very substantial part of our defensive makeup. But looking forward to our next match, and particularly after our result against Cardiff, all the pundits are expecting us to chalk up yet another victory. So here we are on match day, and the medical centre are giving me lots of good news today. All the players who've been out recently with just a few minor injuries, Tommy Rowe, Jack Hunt, Nathan Baker, they all appear to be well and in good form, if not entirely match fit. But once again, we do have Pedro Pereira still out of form, really. But we may just have to play him anyway. In fact, on the day, he is included in the team, Pedro Pereira that is, largely because we don't have anyone else really in the left-back position. Tommy Rowe can fulfil that very nicely, but I'm thinking I want to use him in this match in the midfield. And as you can see here on his particular stats, although he is very capable as a left-back in the defence, he is really a natural midfielder and has a particular aptitude as a playmaker, indeed an end-to-end, a box-to-box midfielder. And if we've been watching the previous matches, you'll have seen him playing a really key role in creating many of our goal chances. So, let's crack on. Let's see how this match against Nottingham Forest pans out. Well, we've come back with a solid win and a good overall team performance. We had once again the lion's share of possession and certainly created a good number of goal opportunities, certainly ahead of our opposition. But we do need to tighten up. We saw there a number of chances created by Grabban, particularly from the Nottingham Forest side, and we just need to make sure that we don't let that sort of player, fast, creative, get through our defensive lines and create or poach, as we saw, chances at goal. I'm particularly pleased that Nicholas Eliasson has made as expected to be honest, a great comeback after his rather lacklustre performance in the Cardiff match, and he easily achieved the player of the match commendation, and of course scoring that rather fine goal. One slightly disappointing note here is Naki Wells, who's not been particularly effective or efficient for us so far this season, and today again he had a very mediocre match, certainly compared to some of his teammates. Once again, the post-match write-ups have been very positive and full of praise for the team. And not just for this one match either, but for our consistency in the league. We are proving to be the most consistent team so far, and that, as we've seen in the earlier stats, and that really is putting us in a very good position indeed in the league. And of course, it's not just the team. Individual players such as Nicholas Eliasson have done really well, and their contribution to our results is being recognised. All of which adds up, as we saw, to 6 straight wins, which is, to be honest, pretty impressive. I'm very happy with that result, and that's put us in a very good position in the league. And in fact, looking at the top of the league, the 3 clubs there, Fulham, Leeds and Bristol City, 2 points, a mere 2 points, separate the top 3 clubs. And the gap between us and the 4th place, the rest of the league, is widening. So is it possible that we might achieve promotion in my first season as manager of Bristol City? Well, dreams can sometimes be realised, but not necessarily for everyone. Unfortunately, once again, the fact that we achieved a really good result has meant that someone else has had to suffer the consequences. And here we see that Nottingham Forest manager Lamucci has been asked to leave the club as a result of yet another poor match. So, everything's looking good for me. That's good for some other managers in the league, but does that mean that we will achieve that promotion this season? So will we achieve that dream? There's only one way for you and me to find out, and that's for us to continue playing Football Manager 2020 and for you to continue watching this series on Ajaxpost Plays. And so from me, Ajaxpost, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, it'd be great to hear from you. A like would be lovely. But if you've got any thoughts, hints, tips, recommendations, even criticisms of what I'm doing with this team, it'll be awesome to hear from you. Just drop a note into the comments box below. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. And that way you'll know when the next match appears, or indeed I upload any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, for today, until the next time, bye bye for now.